I smelled red songbird, Eve Evangeline Einstein's mind in New York City. I'd like to ask you to check out the video, Who Built the Moon? It's on the David Icke channel. David Icke is an expert in the nature of reality. And he has lots of references. It's not just his ideas. He has 30 years of research. I hope the world realizes what is really happening soon with speed. Let's decode the word speed. That is my hope, by the way. She presents Eve energy enters daughter of the sun's new consciousness. I explained in the video, Do You Exist? That I have reformed myself from having been blood, my mother's blood, no form, consciousness, just consciousness of having been her blood. I hope the sun guides us, the U.S., to realize what is really going on soon. Soon, so ordered in. You reap what you sow. I hope Sing, Robin, Melanie, and Michael realize what is really going on soon. Realize, decoded. Her Eve energy and Adam's will, bisex, which is pleasure zone. Okay? That was clear, right? Then let's go on to real alive. Real. Her, H-E-R, her, Eve energy and Adam's will is real. Her, Eve's energy and Adam's will. Mild red songbird is Adam's will. Alive. Adam's will is a pleasure, victory. Eve's energy enters Radhaswami, Lord of the soul, sent, entitled ties. What is alive? Adam's will, pleasure, victory. Eve's energy enters Radhaswami, Lord of the soul, sent, entitled true leaders, entitled to rule. Ties are family, spiritual ties. The Holy Royal Family, entitled to rule heaven on earth. Heaven, Eve, Adam, venue, ordered in. Heaven, ordered on earth. Heaven, Eve, and Adam's venue, ordered on earth. And then earth, the letters moved around, spells H-E-A-R-T, heart. Heaven on earth. Okay, it's all connected. Heaven, even Adam's venue, is heaven on earth. Okay, let's move right along. Extroverts prefer. This is about a TED Talk, and he talks about extroverts and introverts. He was a psychologist, a personality psychologist. Bill Lee, I think was his name. Extroverts prefer black and white, concrete, simple language. Introverts prefer contextually complex, contingent, weasel room sentencing. When we talk, we sometimes talk past each other. Note, blocks me. My introvert Ken blocks me from speaking because she thinks I'm crazy. And if my words get through, she dismisses them as being the rant of a crazy woman. And that is what those in the right experience regularly. If they're complaining that the Jews, for example, are trying to make slaves out of the Christian United States, further explanation is blocked by a label of anti-Semitism since 1871, I think it was, when that term was created. And further details of the Jewish revolutionary spirit, the name of a book by Dr. E. Michael Jones, are simply dismissed as being the word weapon, sword. You put the S over here, it's S-W-O-R-D, sword, anti-Semite. That word wins the argument, and the case against the Jewish people is closed. The Talmud, the Jewish playbook, tells the Jews how to cheat. To use a word to block and dismiss discussion of United States legitimate grievances is cheating. The United States fight wars because of Israel. The United States prints billions of dollars, then gives it to Israel because of one, if not the most powerful lobbyist in Washington, D.C., the Jewish lobbyist, AIPAC. It is said that they own Congress. They have bribed most all of the members of Congress. The treason in Congress began when Congress agreed to make the United States a corporation. So the Jewish British bankers, the Roth, this was in 1871, the Rothschild, called the Act of 1871. The Rothschilds banking dynasty would loan the corporation money. The U.S. was broke due to the expenditures of fighting the Civil War to keep the Union together by freeing the slaves. It's not too late. The American people can demand their Congress repeal the Act of 1871 and return the U.S. to its constitutional republic status, and do what Barack Hussein said he was going to do, which was to end the power of K Street, get rid of the lobbyists. They corrupt the Congress with their bribes and end the power of the deep state. This is something else we can do, end the power of the deep state to blackmail members of Congress, disband the CIA, outlaw treasonous secret cabals, Bilderberg Group, Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, etc., the rest of them. We the people vastly outnumber the enemies of free people. Dismiss the Federal Reserve. Give the power of regulating our money back to Congress once they've been cleansed of the corrupt ones. Get rid of the IRS, install a flat tax, cancel the national debt. It's so high because usury is being practiced. Compound interest. Nobody could ever pay that debt off with compound interest. Again, it's cheating to use compound interest. The Bible says it's a sin to charge interest for loaning money. It's a bad business practice. Lou Benzinger, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Reborn says, business is evil. Add a D is devil. Remove the D and move the E. It's vile. Servile. servants take advantage. Business takes advantage of people. Maybe there are some good businesses and some necessary businesses. I'm talking about corrupt businesses. Extroverts and introverts, we sometimes talk past each other. I had a consulting contract. This is what the professor who is giving this talk, Bill Little, about personality psychology on TED Talks. I had a consulting contract, he says, I shared with a colleague who's as different from me as two people can possibly be. First, his name is Tom, mine isn't. That's a joke, everybody laughed. He's 6'5". I have a tendency not to be. God's got a great sense of humor. And thirdly, he's as extroverted a person as you could find. I am seriously introverted, he says. If I overload and have a cup of coffee at 3 in the afternoon, I can't expect to sleep in the evening. We had second to this project a fellow called Michael. Excuse me. It's 3 a.m. in the morning. That's why I'm yawning. Michael almost brought the project to a crashing halt. So the person who seconded him asked Tom and me, what do you make of Michael? Tom spoke in classic extroverted ears. And here is how extroverted ears heard what I said, which is actually pretty accurate. I said, Michael does have a tendency at times of behaving in a way that some of us might see as perhaps more assertive than is normally called for. Tom rolled his eyes and said, Brian, that's what I said. He's an asshole. Okay, so I'll finish. I'll go back to that in a minute, but I want to decode this word confidence. Consciousness, ordered, full identity, Eve energy, and North Carolina's energy. Consciousness, mild red, ordered, entered, full identity, Queen, the Queen, Eve, energy, N, North Carolina, energy. Okay, now what that's talking about is when I was in North Carolina to see the Guru, to see Jesus Christ, I had been homeless in the past, and I didn't have most of my teeth were missing, and my clothes did not look like I was prosperous, and I was looking forward to seeing the Guru and receiving his love, a hug and a kiss, and looking forward to reuniting with my friends who I knew for 45 years. But when I got there, I was surprised because my friends wouldn't look at me, and they wouldn't talk directly to me, and I didn't care. I had so much confidence in the Guru, in Jesus Christ, because we had had a relationship in my ear for over a year and a half. And I felt confident that he was my love, that he loved me, and I loved him, and we had a relationship. So all of these people who snubbed me, when he came out, I didn't care. I forgot about them. I didn't care about them, and they're snubbing me. So that's why they said my identity was as a queen, because my fate is to be queen of the universe. And in the past, I was Queen Isabella of Spain, and I was Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen of England, and I was a misunderstood French Queen, Marie Antoinette. So you see, that was my identity. So this point of view seems to say that they didn't look at me, they didn't make eye contact with me, and they didn't speak to me directly because I was vibing that I'm the queen. I never thought of it like that before, but that's what was revealed in the automatic writing that I did here. There's no ego here, you see, it's automatic writing. It is written. Consciousness of her close personal relationship with the Guru Jesus Christ, Gurinder Singh, for over a year, Mild Red ordered cars to enter the venue, the satsang hall, the meeting hall, with the full identity of the King Gurinder's Queen. Eve energy mingles in North Carolina energy. In other words, no matter that her heretofore friends would not meet her gaze, her stare, her eyes, and would not address words to her directly, she backed and basked in the glow of the true and most important love, Gurinder Singh, Jesus Christ. He matched her eyes, and the energy, Mild Red, entered inside. Okay, let's decode inside. Eye sex, which is pleasure, nature, secret, identity. Her womb, where he placed DNA genes, energy, to form them. That's Gurinder Singh and Eve, a baby girl, and RN, a child, who would always be a helpful friend, as she had been in the past to Eve, when she had been, the baby had been RN Evelyn Jones, and Eve had been friend in need, Michelle Birdsong, left home alone with the children by her husband, filled with greed. She was a flower, he was a weed. Okay, I'm telling you a story here. I hope you're following it. So, Brian said the guy, Michael, was an asshole. Back to this introvert, extrovert. Now, as an introvert, I might gently allude, this is a professor talking, the introvert. I might gently allude to certain assholic quality. This is funny, that's a joke. The people laughed. Qualities in this man's behavior. But I'm not going to lunge for the A word. The extrovert said, if it talks like one, if it walks like one, I'll call him one. And we go past each other. Now, is this something we should be heedful of? Of course, it's important. Is that all we are? Are we just a bunch of traits? No, we're not. Remember, you're like some other people and like no other person. How about that idiosyncratic you? This is referring to something he had said earlier. I recommend you watch this entire video. It's excellent, and it's only 18 minutes. How about that idiosyncratic you? Is it Elizabeth or George? You may share your extroversion or your neuroticism. But are there some distinctive Elizabethan features of your behavior or Georgian of yours that make us love you? Not just because you're a certain type of person. I'm uncomfortable putting persons in pigeonholes. I don't even think pigeons belong in pigeonholes. So what is it that makes us different? It's the doings that we have in our lives, the personal projects. You may have a personal project that nobody knows is there. It relates to your child, for example. You've been back 3 times to the hospital. You're very agreeable, but you act disagreeable to break down those barriers of administrative torpor in the hospital to get something for your mom or your child. What are these 3 traits? They're where we enact a script in order to advance a core project in our lives. And they are what matters. Don't ask people what type you are. Ask them what are the core projects in your life. So then I'll list my core project, writing Eve's story, her story. Okay, back to this. And we enact those 3 traits. I'm an introvert, said the professor, but I have a core project, which is to profess. I'm a professor, and I adore my students. And daughter of the sun, I adore. Okay, and angel, daughter of the sun, I adore. Eve's energy. And I adore my field, said the professor. And angel, daughter of the sun, I, Adam's, door to her, Eve, my feelings. My feelings. Pleasure, Eve, led. Eve energy led. Eve energy leads to pleasure. Angel, daughter of the sun, I, Adam's door to her, Eve. I'm she. She is me. We are we. You get that? I'm saying that I'm Eve. Okay. And I, the angel, daughter of the sun, is the door for Adam to receive Eve's pleasure energy. The professor says, and I can't wait to tell the students about what's new and what's exciting. He's talking about his personal project. Note, this is from me. I can't wait to tell my YouTube watchers what's new about what's been conserved. A new aspect about something we dismiss as old hat, out-of-date information and people. Where have all the great men gone? Asked Corey Shores in his song Crying for America, which he wrote when he was 14 years old. This is a great video. I would heartily recommend this video. It's beautifully done. The great men, Corey, have taken on new bodies and new names. Most of them don't remember the great things they did for the people in this world. It is my bliss to tell people about these great souls and to tell these great souls about themselves, their names and their bliss this life. Many of them are doing the same as they did to gain fame in their past lives using their new names. The 6 presidents Eve Mary was married to, for example, were great men, and she was a great woman behind them. Who is Jesus Christ these days? I love to tell the world who Jesus Christ is these days, who Eve Mary is married to. I love to tell people, it is my bliss to tell people about all those rock stars Adam and Jesus Christ were to keep Eve going, to keep giving her something about which she could relate. Some of Jesus Christ's disciples are still on the earth in human form. Okay, so these are some of the exciting things I love to tell people about. Now, the professor says he adores telling his students about what he can't wait to tell them about. At 8 in the morning, the students need a little bit of humor, a little bit of engagement to keep them going. in their arduous days of study. But we need to be very careful, said the professor, when we act protractedly out of character. Sometimes we may find that we don't take care of ourselves. Okay, I have an insert. Let me go over here. Where's my insert? Maybe it's in the following page. Oh, here it is. I find sometimes that after a period of pseudo-extroverted behavior, I need to repair myself. Okay, and then it says, as Susan Cain said in her quiet book, in a chapter that said the strange Canadian professor who was teaching at the time at Harvard, I sometimes go to the men's room to escape the slings and arrows of outrageous extroverts. Okay. I remember one particular day when I was retired to a cubicle trying to avoid overstimulation, and a real extrovert came in beside me, not right in my cubicle, but in the next cubicle over, and I could hear various evacuatory noises we hate, even our own. That's why we flush during as well as afterwards. And then I heard this gravelly voice saying, "Hey, is that Dr. Little?" If anything is guaranteed to constipate an introvert for 6 months, it's talking on the John. That's where I'm going now. Don't follow me. Okay, and that was the end of his talk. And everybody applauded because he was great. Introvert. Definition: a shy, reticent person, not necessarily shy. An introvert enjoys time alone without unwanted distractions and stimulations in order to recharge their inner strength. Introvert, opposite of extrovert, a person who is energized by spending time alone, often found in their homes, libraries, quiet parks that not many people know about, or other secluded places. Introverts like to think and be alone. Extrovert, oh my God, you're so shy, you need to get out more. Introvert, but it's so draining. I don't have a problem with going out, I just want to stay at home and read sometimes, you know. Jesse is an introvert, he doesn't mind staying home on a Friday night. In a society where socialization is strangely encouraged, introverts struggle to be accepted. Number 2, because she was an introvert and preferred to stay at home, others looked down upon her habits. Number 3, it was hard for the introvert to explain to people that she hated parties. Introvert, a person who gains energy through low stimulus activities. These activities can include spending time alone, reading, studying, going for a relaxed stroll or jog. They have few friends, but their friends are precious to them. Poll, Conservative Tribune, Western Journal. Do you think this is a new topic? Kim Fox let Jussie Smollett off the hook. Yes, said 99% of the people. No, said 1% of the people. Judge rips Kim Fox in middle of hearing, exposes her sins to entire courtroom by C. Douglas Golden. These are online articles you might want to check out. Related, Asundario brothers drag Smollett's team into court. Make new allegations against actor and his team by Benjamin Aries. Poll, do you believe Smollett perpetrated a hoax? Yes, 99% of the people. No, 1%. 2 votes said no. Okay, I got through the whole presentation. So I hope you understand the difference between introverts and extroverts, because I know I do, and I understand better. And the person I've been having lots of arguments with, I won't be arguing with, because I understand she's an introvert and I'm an extrovert. That's all that's about. Okay, so long.